The Galactic Council's grand chamber buzzed with tension. Ambassador Ethan Cole stood before the assembly, his face flushed. Across the room, the reptilian Silothian delegation hissed, their scales rippling with anger. What was supposed to be a peace talk had unraveled into chaos. "We demand equal rights," Ethan shouted, slamming his fist on the podium. "Earth contributes more resources than half your worlds combined. We deserve a voice." The Silothian leader, Vornax, rose on clawed feet. "Your species is young," he spat. "Too reckless, too hungry for power. The Council will not tolerate." Before he could finish, a human guard near Ethan lunged at Vornax, a knife flashing. The chamber erupted. Silothian guards opened fire with plasma rifles, scorching the walls. Ethan tackled the attacker, but the damage was done. By the time the chaos ended, 3 Silothians lay dead. The Council's verdict came swiftly. Earth was expelled. "Your kind cannot be trusted," the Council's AI intoned, its voice echoing coldly. "You are volatile, a danger to galactic stability." Ethan watched, numb, as Council enforcers stripped his team of their credentials. Back on Earth, news of the ban sparked riots. Crowds stormed government buildings, burning holograms of Council leaders. In New York, a mob tore down a statue of Vornax, chanting, "No more bowing." President Almeida, Earth's frail leader, addressed the planet from a bunker. "We will appeal," she insisted, sweat beading her forehead. But her words rang hollow. Off camera, her advisors argued. Some urged surrender. Others whispered about rebellion. Ethan, now a fugitive, hid in a Moscow safe house. His comlink buzzed. A message from Dr. Lena Marlowe, a scientist he'd worked with before. "They lied, Ethan. The Council's files. They framed us. Found proof." He stared at the screen, fists clenched. Outside, the skies darkened. Earth's people were angry, humiliated, and for the first time in history, they were truly on their own. Dr. Lena Marlowe sat in her lab, surrounded by holographic screens. Her eyes burned from lack of sleep. A week ago, she'd hacked into old Council databases. Now, she wished she hadn't. The files glowed red. Project Harvest. The Council hadn't expelled Earth for violence. They'd planned it. Earth's resources, rare minerals, advanced tech, were to be seized. The attack on Vornax. Stage. Lena's hands shook. She sent a coded message to Ethan. "Meet me. Old warehouse. Midnight." Ethan arrived, his face hidden under a hood. "What's this about?" he growled. Lena played the files. Ethan watched, jaw tightening. "They used us," he said finally. "We need to fight back." But how? Earth's governments were divided. Some leaders still hoped to rejoin the Council. Others wanted war. Lena leaned forward. "We build our own empire. Take what's ours. The Council fears us. Good. Let's give them a reason." Ethan nodded. "We'll need allies. And weapons." They traveled to Tokyo, where Earth's leaders had gathered. The room was tense. Presidents, generals, and CEOs argued. "We can't beat the Council alone," yelled a Russian general. "We won't," said Ethan, stepping forward. "But we don't need to beat them. We need to replace them." He showed the files. Silence fell. A Chinese admiral stood. "If this is true, we have no choice. We fight." Lena spoke next. "The Council left us with nothing. But we have ships, asteroid mines, and billions willing to die for Earth." General Marcus Vega, a towering man with a scared face, interrupted. "I'll lead the military, but we need unity. No more borders. No more flags. Just Earth." The leaders hesitated. Then President Almeida, frail but fierce, raised her hand. "I'll sign. Let's build this. Dominion." By dawn, plans were set. Factories restarted. Asteroid bases were fortified. And in secret, Earth's new warships began to rise. Deep beneath the ruins of Paris, a secret meeting began. Ethan, Lena, and 50 Earth leaders sat in a damp bunker lit by flickering lights. The air smelled of rust and determination. "We need rules," said a Japanese engineer, "or this falls apart." Ethan nodded. "A charter, a promise to each other and to Earth." For days, they debated. Soldiers argued with politicians. CEOs clashed with scientists. But slowly, the Terran Charter took shape. No one speaks for Earth but Earth itself. General Marcus Vega stomped in late, his boots echoing. "You want a military?" He barked. "Fine, but I answer to no one but this council, and we fight together." The leaders agreed. Vega's first order: turn Earth's junkyards into shipyards. Old cargo vessels were stripped, rebuilt with weapons. Farmers welded armor plates. Even criminals were offered pardons to join the cause. Meanwhile, Lena worked with corporations. "The council cut us off," she said. "Good. We'll mine our own asteroids." In the asteroid belt, miners like Jake Romero drilled day and night. "This isn't just rock," he told his crew. "It's our future." They melted metals, forged engines, and stockpiled fuel. But the council watched. On Mars, a spy leaked plans of Earth's new fleet. Silithian agents sabotaged a factory, killing hundreds. Ethan addressed the planet via hacked broadcasts. "They fear us because we're strong," he said, standing before a burning shipyard. "But we won't hide. We'll build, fight, and win." By month's end, the Dominion had a fleet, small but fierce. And in the shadows, Lena plotted their next move: the Krillian Expanse, a lawless zone where outcasts might ally with Earth. The galaxy would soon learn. Earth wasn't gone. It was just getting started. The Krillian Expanse was a junkyard of stars, a place where broken ships and broken people drifted. Ethan and Lena docked at Voss Station, a rusted hub ruled by smugglers. Their escort, a surly alien with 6 eyes, led them to Zara Voss. Zara sat on a throne made of scrap metal, her boots propped on a dented console. Her crew, humans, aliens, even a few rogue robots, glared from the shadows. "So," she drawled, "Earth's golden boy and his pet scientist. What do you want?" Ethan stepped forward. "Your people have been hunted by the council. Ours have been betrayed. We can help each other." Zara smirked. "Help? You're hiding in my station, begging for scraps. What can Earth offer?" Lena activated a hologram. A barren asteroid bloomed into a green world, terraformed by Earth's tech. "We'll give you this," she said. "Land, a home, in exchange for your ships and your guns." The room fell silent. Zara's smile faded. Her crew whispered. Finally, she stood. "Prove it works." Now. They took her to a dead moon. Lena triggered the machine. Soil cracked, plants erupted, and oxygen thickened the air. Zara knelt, touching the new grass. "Huh," she said. "You're not lying." Back on the station, she agreed. 50 ships, weapons, and her best pilots, for a price. "You fail me," she warned, "and I'll sell your bones to the council." As Ethan and Lena left, rumors raced through the expanse. Earth's building an army. They've got alien allies. Even the council heard. Admiral Vornak sneered. "Let them try. They'll burn like everything else." But in hidden corners of the galaxy, others took notice. The Terran Dominion wasn't just surviving. It was growing. Admiral Vornax grinned in his command chair. His fleet of sleek, black council ships surrounded Earth's asteroid bases. "Crush them," he hissed. But Marcus Vega was ready. "Launch the drones," he ordered. Hundreds of small, AI-controlled fighters swarmed from hidden hangars. They dodged plasma fire, latching onto council ships like insects. Explosions lit the sky. "Retreat," a Silithian captain screamed. But Vornax roared. "Hold. Burn their rocks to dust." On the asteroid surface, miners and soldiers scrambled. Lena activated the defense grid, a gift from Zora's tech. Energy shields flared, blocking the worst of the assault. Ethan watched from a bunker, fists clenched. "We can't hold forever," he muttered. Marcus appeared on his screen. "We don't need to, just long enough." The general had a plan. His best pilots, flying stripped-down fighters, rammed council cruisers. "For Earth," they shouted, sacrificing themselves. Vornax's fleet wavered. His second-in-command hissed, "Sir, the Terrans. They fight like beasts." "They're vermin," Vornax spat. "But vermin can't win." He was wrong. Zora's smuggler ship struck from behind, firing stolen council weapons. Caught between two forces, Vornax's armada broke. "Fall back," he ordered, teeth bared. As the council fled, Earth celebrated, but Marcus stayed grim. "They'll return. Bigger. Angrier." Lena nodded. "Then we'll be ready." News of the victory spread. Alien worlds, tired of council rule, sent messages of support. A luminary envoy arrived, offering aid. "Your fight," she said, "is ours now." Ethan smiled. The Dominion wasn't just surviving, it was inspiring. Zara Voss stared at the council's message on her screen. "Bring us the Dominion's tech. In return, your people get a homeland." Her crew was starving. The Krillian expanse was dying. She typed back, "Done." That night, Zara downloaded Earth's shield codes and sent them to Vornax. The Council's payment arrived. "Coordinates to a fertile planet." "It's a lie," muttered Rax, her engineer. "They'll betray you." "Better a lie than certain death," Zara snapped. But Lena caught the leak. Alarms blared in the Dominion's command center. "Someone sold us out," Marcus growled. Lena traced the signal to Zora's ship. "I'll handle this," she said. Disguised as a smuggler, Lena boarded Zora's vessel. Guards spotted her, but she blew a hole in the hull and sprinted to the data core. Zora confronted her, blaster drawn. "You think Earth cares about us?" Zara spat. "You're no better than the Council." Lena hacked the core, deleting the stolen files. "Earth needs you, but I'll burn this ship before I let you sell us." They fought. Lena ducked a shot, kicked Zora's weapon away, and escaped with the data. Ethan confronted Zora later, alone. "Why?" Zora's eyes narrowed. "You offer allies. My people need a home." The Council promised. "You're a fool," Ethan said quietly. "They'll never honor that." "But we would have." Zora said nothing. By dawn, her ships were gone. The Dominion recovered the tech, but trust was shattered. Marcus grumbled. "We're weaker without her guns." Lena disagreed. "We're stronger. We know whom not to trust." But as Zora's fleet joined the Council's armada, Ethan wondered how many more allies would turn against them. Claren Guyen adjusted her headset, staring into the camera. Behind her, Terran ships soared past a captured Council outpost. "This is Claren Guyen, reporting from the front," she said, her voice steady. "The Council calls us rebels. But ask yourself, who's the real enemy?" Her holographic broadcast beamed across the galaxy. On alien worlds, beings gathered around screens. She showed footage of Council troops burning crops on a neutral planet. "They preach order," Clara said, "but bring terror." The Council struck back. Their own broadcasts painted Earth as violent raiders. "The Dominion violates sacred treaties." A luminary diplomat lied on air, but viewers noticed the fear in his eyes. In a crowded cantina on Rylos Prime, aliens cheered Clara's report. "Earth fights for us," a tentacled merchant said, "not just themselves." Zora Voss watched from her new Council-allied ship. She scowled. "Turn it off," she told her crew. But the message was spreading. Back on Earth, Clara edited new footage. Children in Dominion colonies laughing. Alien allies sharing meals with humans. "We're not conquerors," she narrated. "We're builders." The Council's AI tried jamming her signal. Clara rerouted it through Zora's old smuggler networks. You're helping them? A crewman asked Zora. She shrugged. Just business. But the damage was done. On Luminary worlds, protests erupted. Why side with tyrants? Citizens demanded. The collective's leaders secretly contacted Ethan. We'll join you, they said. But not yet. Clara's final report showed General Vega shaking hands with a luminary defector. The galaxy's waking up, she said. This isn't Earth's war anymore. It's ours. Admiral Vornak smashed his view screen. Worms, he roared. They twist truth like weapons. But truth, Clara knew, was the deadliest weapon of all. The Council's armada descended on New Geneva, Earth's capital, like a swarm of locusts. Admiral Vornax's ships blotted out the sun. Erase their leadership, he ordered. Leave nothing but ash. General Marcus Vega stood on the city's walls, watching plasma bombs rain down. Evacuate the civilians, he barked. Now. Ethan Cole scrambled through crumbling streets, helping families into underground bunkers. A child clung to him, crying, Where's my mom? Ethan wiped the boy's tears. She'll need us. Stay strong. Okay. Above, the sky burned. Zora's smuggler ships, now flying council colors, fired on defense towers. Lena Marlowe, in a bunker below, hacked into the council's orbital cannons. Got it, she yelled. A screen lit up, control rerouted. Marcus grinned. Fire at will. The Dominion's cannons swiveled and blasted the council's own ships. Vornax's fleet scattered, shields failing. But the city was dying. Buildings collapsed. Marcus's soldiers fought street by street, using rubble as cover. For Earth, they shouted, grenades in hand. Lena's screens flickered. They're targeting the archives, she warned. The archives held Earth's history, all proof of council crimes. Ethan grabbed a rifle. I'll hold them off. No, Marcus said, gripping his shoulder. You're needed elsewhere. Lev, Ethan. For her. He nodded at Lena. Ethan hesitated, then ran. Behind him, Marcus charged into the fray, roaring orders. By dawn, the council retreated. New Geneva was half destroyed, but alive. Lena found Ethan in the ruins. The archives are safe, she said. But Marcus. Marcus's last transmission played on a cracked screen. Tell Earth. We won. Clara Nguyen's voice broke the silence. Her broadcast showed the shattered city, Marcus's final stand, and the Council's cruelty. Across the galaxy, aliens wept. Riots erupted on Council worlds. Ethan stared at the horizon. They'll regret this, he said. All of them. The Council's assembly hall crackled with fury. Luminary delegates glowed brighter, their light dimmed by rage. You used our ships to bomb civilians. Alara, their leader, shouted at Vornax. This war is a lie. Vornax hissed, claws slicing the air. You dare question me. The Luminary are weak, softened by peace. Alara turned to her people. We leave. Now. Bahal erupted. Half the council backed the Luminary. The rest roared for war. Vornax's allies drew weapons. Traitors, he bellowed. In the chaos, Ethan received a message. Meet us at the edge of Silothian space. Bring the girl. It was Alara. He and Lena boarded a shuttle, Zora's stolen codes guiding them past council patrols. On the Luminary flagship, Alara waited. The Dominion's fight is just, she said, but we need your trust. Lena stepped forward. What do you want? Quantum gateways, Alara replied. They let ships jump instantly across the galaxy. The Council controls them, but we know how to break their locks. Ethan frowned. Why help us? Because your Clara Nguyen showed us the truth, Alara said. The Council starves worlds to keep power. We will not be part of it. Back on Earth, Clara's broadcast showed luminary ships deserting the Council. Vornax's forces splintered. Some stayed loyal. Others fled. Zara, still allied with the council, watched from her cockpit. "Idiots," she muttered, but doubt gnawed at her. With the gateways unlocked, Dominion ships struck council planets directly. Mines, factories, and weapons depots fell. Vornax's grip crumbled. Ethan stood on the bridge of the Luminary flagship, watching the galaxy map light up with new victories. "This changes everything," he said. Lena nodded. "But it's not over. Vornax will strike back harder." Elara placed a hand on her shoulder. "Then we'll be ready. Together." For the first time, Earth wasn't just surviving. It was winning. The celestial spire loomed ahead, a towering structure of ancient alien tech, the Council's last stronghold. Ethan stared at the hologram. "This is it," he said. "Break this, and the galaxy is ours." Lena nodded. "But the cord's shielded. To disable it, someone has to go inside." Marcus slammed a fist on the console. "Suicide mission." "I'll do it," Lena said quietly. Ethan grabbed her arm. "No, there's another way." Lena smiled. "We both know there isn't." Her ship, a tiny craft packed with explosives, slipped past the Council's defenses. Vornax's voice crackled over the comms. "You think you can win, human? You're nothing." Lena ignored him. She docked at the spire's core, wires snaking into her ship. "Goodbye, Ethan," she whispered, and activated the bombs. The spire erupted. A black hole tore through the Council's fleet, swallowing ships whole. Vornax's flagship collapsed like paper. "Fall back," he screamed, but it was too late. On the Dominion's bridge, Ethan watched Lena's signal vanish. "No," he choked. Marcus gripped his shoulder. "She saved us all." The remaining Council forces scattered. Zara's ships, now leaderless, surrendered. The Luminary broadcast the spire's destruction galaxy-wide. "The Council is no more," Elara declared. Ethan hailed the survivors. "This isn't victory," he said, voice breaking. "It's justice." Weeks later, on the ruins of the spire, Ethan faced the remaining Council delegates. "We don't want your seat," he said. "We want equality. For all worlds." The delegates nodded. Earth was sovereign at last. In the epilogue, years later, Ethan visits Mars. The golden plaque reads, "Lena Marlowe." She lit the fire. A child asks, "Will the Dominion last forever?" Ethan smiles. "Nothing lasts forever, but as long as we fight, we'll never fall."